Hello, my faithful friends and followers. It is I, Korsgaard, live for the first time. As you might have guessed from the video, I've decided to try video blogging for the first time. I certainly hope you enjoy it, and if you're here for the first time, thanks for tuning in. As I've mentioned a few times before on my site, I am a huge fan of The Expendables, and for good reason. The 2010 old-school action thriller was a loving tribute and long-needed revival of the glory days of action cinema, starring a list of anyone who is anybody in the action genre. While it's certainly no critical darling, it was one hell of a fun movie, and for action junkies like myself, it was Nirvana. If Nirvana had 30-minute-long fight scenes. Perhaps the best thing The Expendables sparked was something of a revival in the action genre, with movies like The Tomb, Bullet to the Head, and The Last Stand marking a new wave of action cinema. And leading the charge is The Expendables 2. So, is The Expendables 2 every bit the action-packed thriller out of the original, if not better than? Or is The Expendables 2, of all things, expendable? Oh, come on, really? You didn't see that one coming? Re-up, reload, and get ready, my dear viewers, as I review The Expendables 2. We rejoin our favorite merry band of mercenaries as they are once again hired by Mr. Church. This time on a mission in Eastern Europe to recover a vault filled with 5 tons of weapons-grade plutonium. After one of their own is killed by the villainous Jean Valjean, their mission turns into one not only of recovery, but one of vengeance. One where they will mow down any chump in their path in a hail of bullets, blood, blades, and bombs, in one that will leave any audience satisfied. While it certainly won't win any Oscars, and does play to more than a few cliches, genre stalwarts will adore the movie, because not only is the plot fairly solid for the genre, but it is filled to the brim with one-liners, wit, and oh so much humor, including what may be the greatest Chuck Norris joke of all time. A large part of that is due to the stellar cast, which, like the first one, includes some of the biggest names in action cinema, including Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Chuck Norris, Terry Crews, Randy Couture, Liam Hemsworth, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Willis, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. While granted there is very little acting on display here, there's no denying that these action heroes are doing what they do best, mowing down hordes of chumps with one-liners at the ready and having a ball while doing so. And the audience can't help but join them. Throughout the entire movie, they're funny, delightful, and undeniably badass, and they're enjoyable from start to finish. In addition to the surprisingly solid story, the superb script, and the ever-delightful cast, you have the highlight of the film, the action. Both the directing and the action scenes are much improved over the original, and there is something here for every kind of action junkie, including fistfights, knife fights, gunfights, explosions, and everything in between. Especially what will no doubt be known as the great Stallone-Schwarzenegger-Willis Rampage of 2012. And trust me, it alone is worth buying a ticket for. All of it is extremely well handled, very satisfying, and worth seeing the film for alone. It has all of the character, charm, and hard-boiled action of the first film, but with an improved plot, better direction, and even more humor than the original, and the result is a beautiful sight to behold. Best of all, it provides the sort of grim satisfaction only a hard-boiled action film can provide, and at this rate, I could certainly get used to having a new Expendables film every couple of years. In conclusion, The Expendables 2 is a fun, enjoyable, and immensely satisfying action thriller, and the perfect end to the summer movie season. Action junkies will adore it. I loved it, and I have no doubt that so will you. If you haven't yet, go see The Expendables 2, and if you have, go see it again. I certainly will. Be sure to subscribe, like me on Facebook, and of course, tune in next time. Until then, I'm Korsgaard, and The Expendables 2 is anything but expendable. One push is all you need. A sister's philosophy. We watch with wounded eyes. So I hope you recognize. This
This review was filmed in front of a live studio audience.